talk about pulling into the parking lot. There's dust and bulldozers and tractors here. Let's tell people what's going on here at ACTC.
Yes, so we are very fortunate to be building a new parking lot, both for our visitors and for our students. So the first thing you're going to see is a big black fence, and behind it they are putting in 50 new parking spots for our conference center. That both of our districts and our business partners use. Then just across the drive we have our student parking lot. We were about 30 to 40 parking spots short last year, so we are putting in additional 120 parking spots that will be completed by January. So we're very fortunate to be able to expand Pardon Our Dust this year while we get things together, but a little bit of this uncomfortableness will turn into a great outcome at the end. We're hoping in the next 2 years we build an advanced manufacturing building, which we're specifically going to look at CNC. We look at expanding into logistics, which will probably be put into our existing building, but we have to move 2 programs out to be able to do that. So we plan on putting firefighting and law enforcement out by the burn facility and the law enforcement training outdoor area. So we'll move them out. That'll give space inside the traditional building where we can put logistics. Fire absolutely is growing. The students are getting certifications, so they're becoming a real firefighter before they even have to go to the academy. They actually do it all here, and they're getting their EMT certification as well.
And we were talking earlier that you said the computer programs are all growing rapidly.
Yeah, most of our computer courses are, if I was going to name a program that grew the most, it would be our programming, our esports management, and our AP computer science. So any of those type programs seem to be growing more each year.
And you were talking about students going out and working as part of their curriculum here. Give me those numbers and tell me what that's about.
Yeah, we co-opted 157 students this year. These are paid co-ops. Out of those, about 93 of those earned $15 or under. The other 63 earned more than $15. I mean, we had students upwards of $30 an hour they were making.
These are like internships, right?
Right. We call them co-ops because it is a signed agreement between us and our local industry where the students get credit for coming to going to work, but they're getting credit for high school. They're getting a job. They're actually getting paid to do this. And then there's an evaluation once a week that the employer has to do based off of our students' performance.
So when they graduate, they go straight to work full time?
They can. They sure can. A lot of ours do. This year we had anywhere from about 63%. From the graduating class from last year, we had about 63% go straight into college. Some of them worked while they were going into college, but college trumps the just going to work as far as the data is put in there. The other 32% went straight into the workforce, and then we had a very small percentage that went into military and a very small percentage that were unemployed. I think less than 2% were unemployed. So our students do go on straight out into the work or go to college, either one. But out of that, our students last year earned $910,000. So it was a huge impact to our students' pockets, but also the impact that we made to our local community of employing our students.
Now, will the new building increase those numbers?
Yes, because it'll allow us to increase students. So we can't grow anymore because we are a special purpose district, and that only allows us to use the money that we save from our budget. We cannot create debt. We're not allowed to create any type of bond or borrow money. We have to save intentionally. So every year when the delegation approves our budget, I intentionally save some of the money from each of those little funds to be able to put back into growth and improvement in our facility.
And this new building, how long would it take to build something like that?
I would imagine a year and a half, 2 years. So by the time we implement planning next summer, I could see it being done in the next 3 years. So this is going to be specifically for CNC, and that is taking a raw material, telling the computer to program some type of, like they're making a transmission. You make the transmission, the part to go in it, and then it actually mills it out and creates it. And so when you come out of it, you have a product made out of a raw piece of material. Very high tech. We were very fortunate to have built a new barn this year. Our board used penny sales tax to build a new barn. They also gave us funding for a new greenhouse while we were working on the barn. So our agriculture program won just about any swine award that you can find in the state of South Carolina or Georgia. Our engineering class won the first ever Smithsonian Invention Convention, which was brand new for us. Student even got some cash prizes from it. We won first and second in automotive collision and refinishing. Our graphics class won 2 first place awards and a runner-up. Of course, our media broadcasting class has the only high school run radio station in South Carolina. So we have to go outside of that, and there's probably 10 or 15 first and second places that we won and honorable mentions within media broadcasting. We won first in programming, and then our culinary arts again won the South Carolina State Pro Start Invitational, and we went to nationals and took third in nationals. So I expect big things from them next year. I think we've created a culture here that teachers want to stay and they want to retire here. And I want them to retire here. So we've had very little turnover. We did have a teacher retire this past school year, so we had one opening, but it was not difficult to fill at all. So very fortunate not to have a whole lot of turnover rate.
And we've talked about the parking lot and plans ahead. Is there anything else you and the board have identified for the coming school year you hope to, this time next year, be able to tell me we're successful?
The parking lot, first of all, that should be completed by January, so we're going to have some routing issues until that is completed. We're going to have some new directional signs as well when we have the new parking lot done. We are going to look for some improvements in our welding facility. We have some ventilation that we need that's really outdated that we need to redo in there, so we'll be doing some demolition in our welding facility, and then of course hopefully planning for the new manufacturing building.
Are y'all integrating AI into any of your programs this year?
Oh yeah. We have a touch of AI in everything. I mean, it's touched everything, but we're seeing it more and more. And you have to educate the teachers because that's not their expertise. So you got to take the teachers and you got to train them in what AI looks like in auto tech because it's changing. But you still have, 98% of the cars that are out there are not those electric cars and programmable and autonomous type vehicles. So you still have that. So there's that little bit of mix between the two. So it's coming, and I think every year we just compound just a little bit on it. So our teachers are getting educated, and yet we're still giving our students and our economy what they need, our businesses.
And for people who don't know that y'all are out here, remind them who y'all serve and what y'all's mission here is.
So we serve the 3 high schools in Anderson 1, which is Powdersville, Wren, and Palmetto, and then the 1 high school in Anderson 2, which is Belton Honeypath. Primarily 10th, 11th, and 12th. We do have a couple of 9th graders on campus, specifically just our engineering courses. But then we have 22 other courses that students that are in 10th, 11th, and 12th can serve. I've been here 23 years and I love it. I love my job. I really do. I'm very fortunate to be able to be placed in this position every single year. I think we've changed a lot. I think because we have the ability to grow, and even though you have to cut to make those grows, I think they're good and I think they're intentional and thought out. I think we have helped our community grow as well in workers and people. Anderson 1 and 2 are great school districts. People want to go to school. They want to educate their children in those 2 districts, and I feel that we're a small part of that. I think some people can see that being in both of those school districts, you're going to have a good quality of life. I think your children are going to have a good quality of life. I think there's so much variety, whether it be athletics or academics or career and tech ed that they can go to. So I think we're just placed in a great place. So I think we've grown a lot over the years to help our businesses create that as well. You have to have support from your board. You have to have support from your feeder districts. If the 2 superintendents didn't believe in us, there's no way we could do what we do. But we work hand in hand with them. We're educating the same student. So I think we all have the same mission.